Hello and a warm welcome to Sarat Chandra IAS Academy, where your dreams are our mission. This is Yatharth here. Today we'll be talking about current affairs, especially dealing with mapping and the current developments in India. Also, we'll be dealing with a few quiz that appeared in the Hindu newspaper. Alright, so just to begin with, there was a quiz on Indian lakes. If you remember well, a question also came on Indian lakes in Prelims 2023. It talked about various geographical formations. In view of, there was a common theme, and I have covered it in lecture also on YouTube, that the common theme was rivers being polluted, rivers that support migratory birds, and rivers that have had a certain relation with any geological or geographic formation. So Wooler Lake came into the options. There were many lakes such, and this quiz correlates to that question also. So let's talk about this quiz. So question 1, which we see, is a weed infested. So this is signal number 1 that this question is important. A dying lake in the 1990s. So this is talking about some dying lake or something from pollution, let's say. Alright, because that pollution increases the BOD and increases the pollution also. So X was restored by the efforts of the state government. In 2022, the state's chief minister shared photos of the lake, calling it India's best kept secret. This is a motto of Odisha, if you remember. So we are talking about some river in Odisha. Let's see. This is the largest coastal lagoon in India. So it's in Odisha. It is near to coast also. And it's in a lagoon. So I hope now you are getting the hint what lake we are talking about. Alright, so we'll answer this question. Then we move further on to the name of the X lake in English stands for the Lake. This is a very famous hint. So this, the famous songs, Ye Chand Sa Roshan Chehra, etc. So there was a lake in which these all songs have been, let's say, shot. And the lake, so it can be in Kashmir, if we remember. We'll see about this also. In prelims question, a lake from Kashmir was asked and the source was mentioned. Alright. So let's skip this. Question number 3. The lake is famous for its fumes or densely packed floating masses of soil. So floating masses of soil. This is a very famous lake. We all know about this. Alright, where is this? There's a national park also located. So on the lake lies a floating national park. The floating national park, we all know where is it? In Manipur. And the refuge of the endangered Shanghai. Which lake is this? Shanghai is a deer species. Which lake is this situated by the state that has been hit by violence since May? Alright, question number 4. This lake is in Himachal Pradesh and reservoir formed by the Bhakra Nagal Dam. It is named in honor of the 10th Sikh Guru. So Guru Govind Singh, that means Govind Sagar we are talking about. It is the largest artificial water reservoir also. Alright, question number 5. This heart-shaped lake was built by Abraham Kulikut Shah. There is a standing Buddha right in the middle. Name it. So we'll see about this. It's in Hyderabad, Telangana. We'll see which lake is this. Alright, so let's move on to the questions and answers now, eventually. Just a second, I'll change the pen. Alright. So what we see here is this is the Odisha state and this is the Chilka lake here. Alright, Chinkalnavan WLS or Chilka lake here. So weed infested a dying lake in the 1990s. We have already read the question, no need to repeat it. So the answer is Chilka Lake from Odisha. Let's see about this. You can have this map in the Telegram group. I'll share all these things in the Sarat Chandra IAS Academy. Alright, so let's see. Chilka Lake is the largest brackish water lagoon in whole of Asia and the second largest coastal lagoon in the world itself, spread over the Puri, Khorda and Ganjam districts of Odisha state in the east coast of India at the mouth of the Daya river. So please remember the name of this river. It is a complete certainty that whenever a lake is asked, the river will also be asked, or you must remember the name of the source river at least. Flowing into the Bay of Bengal, covering an area of over 1100 square kilometers. So that's a lot. Chilka Lake comes after the New Caledonian Barrier Reef. So it has been listed as tentative UNESCO World Heritage Site. It is the largest wintering ground for migratory birds also. And this lake is home to a number of threatened species of plants and animals. So when we talk about the conservation, so it was a Ramsar site. The lagoon hosts over 160 species of peak migratory season birds. So the birds came from as far as the Caspian Sea, Lake Baikal. We have all seen all these formations. Caspian Sea, I told you when we read about the Mediterranean region, if you remember. We went from Mediterranean to the Black Sea towards the Caspian Sea and saw all of the seas, Sea of Azov, etc. in the between. Alright, you can watch that lecture if you don't remember. So Central and Southern Asia, Ladakh and Himalayas come here in 1981. Chilka Lake was designated the first Indian wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. Where is the city Ramsar located? You can tell me in comments. This I'll tell you right here. It's located in Iran. So microalgae, marine seaweeds, etc. are flourishing in the brackish water of the Chilka Lagoon. Because of extensive mining things in the 1990s, there was a large-scale pollution. So especially the recovery of seagrass beds in the recent years is a welcoming trend, which may eventually result in recolonization of endangered dugongs. So what is dugongs? You can see it's also known as the water cow or water buffalo. So it's a fish species. It's a mammal. When we talk about the Utkal Plain, alright, this is also a famous formation. Utkal Plains. You must have also heard the name of Utkal Express train. So it's a part of the east coast plain of India. It's a coastal plain in the Odisha state of eastern India. It includes the delta of the Mahanadi River, Brahmani River and Baitarani River. So please remember this delta, and it is in the Utkal plain. The most prominent physiographic feature of this plain is the Chilka Lake. So the Chilka Lake is a feature of the Utkal plain, which considers a delta of Mahanadi, Brahmani and Baitarani River. So please remember such details when we talk about the questions. Alright, let's talk about the second question, which is about the Lake or Dal Lake. So the famous songs etc. were shot here. It's a very scenic lake in Kashmir. So let's talk about the mapping portion here. Just a second. So the Wooler Lake that came into the prelims this year. This is the Dal Lake, which is also located in Srinagar. And its name is Lake. There are other important lakes. You can see Bhimtal Naini Lake here in Uttarakhand here. You can see Sambar Lake in Rajasthan. Pushkar, this is Pushkar Lake in Ajmer, Rajasthan again. And Pachpadra River again in Rajasthan, I think Badmer. Then there is Dabar Lake and Rajsamand. They are both in the Udaipur state and Rajsamand district. Sorry, Udaipur district and Rajsamand district. This is also Nakki Lake. It's very important Nakki Lake. It's very pilgrimage lake. This is a Nal Sarovar. And Nokrek and Loktak Lake. Nokrek we'll see and Loktak also we'll see in this lecture only. Also let's talk about the Dal Lake first and foremost. So Dal Lake is a lake in Srinagar. It's an urban lake, the second largest lake in Jammu and Kashmir. So which is the first largest? You can tell me in the comment section. The lake covers an area of 18 square kilometers and part of the natural wetland again. So which covers 21.1 square kilometers including its floating gardens. The floating gardens known as Rud in Kashmir blossoms with lotus flowers during July and August. So this is not important. The four basins you can just see Gagribal, Lokut, Boddal and Nigi. The shallow open drainage lake is fed by the Dachigam Telba Nala. So this is important. Dachigam Telbal Nala. What else you remember from Dachigam? You tell me. Is it a national park? Is it a wildlife sanctuary? So Daranala, Nala means stream and many other small streams. So you can see the map here of the Dal Lake. Alright. Okay, let's move forward for the third question. So this lake is famous for its fumps or densely packed floating mass. So we already know this lake is Loktak Lake in Manipur. It's a very famous lake. Alright, so here you can see the map. In the center of the Manipur it's located. And you can see the bordering states here actually. This is Assam here. This is Mizoram. This is Myanmar, the international boundary here. And this is Nagaland. You must always remember the mapology. This is Assam in between. Then there's Arunachal Pradesh, Nagaland, Manipur, Mizoram, Tripura, and Meghalaya. Alright, so just remember all these things. There's a West Bengal and Sikkim here. Alright, there's a chicken neck, and then you can see the further map. Alright, let's move forward. Talking about the Loktak Lake, it's a freshwater lake in northeastern India. It's the largest freshwater lake in South Asia. Please remember this. It's a pulsating lake. Pulsating lake means which keeps on increasing and decreasing as per the season. So with a surface area varying from 250 square kilometer to 500 square kilometer during the rainy season, with a typical area of 287 square kilometer on an average. The lake is located at Moirang in Manipur state, India. The etymology means the name of this word. Of Loktak is Lok means stream and Tak means the end. That means till the end of the stream. In Methi language, it is famous for the Fumdi. Fumdi means heterogeneous mass of vegetation, soil and organic matter at various stages of decomposition floating over it. The largest of all the Fumdis cover an area of 40 square kilometer and is located on the southern east shore of the lake. So under there is water, and above the water there is a floating organic mass. So you can walk on it, not drive vehicles on it, but you can walk on it and it will float or feel bumpy. And there is a Shanghai deer also which lives on it. So located on this Phumdi Kebul Lamjao National Park is the only floating national park in the world. The park is the last natural refuge of the endangered Shanghai, that is state animal also, Rickerbus LDLD or Manipur Bro Antler deer. Please remember the difference between deer and other species, which are known as antelope. So deer have basically antlers which they shed each year. The Loktak Day is observed every year on the 15th of October at the periphery of the Loktak Lake. And considering the ecological status and its biodiversity values, the lake was initially designated as a wetland of international importance under the Ramsar Convention. It was also listed under the Montreux Record. So Montreux Record is also related to the conservation, a record of Ramsar sites where changes in ecological character have occurred or occurring at likely to occur. Let's talk about the fourth one, the lake in Himachal Pradesh, the reservoir formed by the Bhakra Dam. So we all know it's Govind Sagar Lake. Here you can see the map of the Govind Sagar Lake. Alright, in the north of the Shimla in Himachal Pradesh. So it's a reservoir situated in the Una and Bilaspur districts of Himachal Pradesh. It's formed by the Bhakra Dam on Satluj River. Please remember this river Satluj, which forms the Bhakra Dam. And the reservoir name is the Govind Sagar. So, and it's named in the honor of Guru Govind Singh, the 10th Sikh Guru. One of the world's highest gravity dams, the Bhakra Dam rises nearly 225.5 meter above its lowest foundations. Under the supervision of the American dam builder Harvey Skolem, work began in 1955 and was completed in 1962. It was an ambitious project of Jawaharlal Nehru, who also inaugurated it. To maintain the water level, the flow of the water Beas was channelized to Govind Sagar by the Beas Satluj link, which was accomplished in 1976. Moving further, let's come to the fifth question. This heart-shaped lake was built by Abraham Kuli Qutb Shah. It has a standing Buddha right in the middle, name it. So the answer is Hussain Sagar Lake, which is located in the Hyderabad, Telangana. Alright, this is the Buddha statue you can see here, and the lake I'll show you. So Hussain Sagar is a heart-shaped lake in Hyderabad, built by Abraham Kuli Qutb Shah. Spread across an area of 5.7 square kilometer. A large monolithic mean made of a single stone statue of Gautam Buddha erected in 1992 stands on the Gibraltar rock in the middle of the lake. So the lake was built in 1563 and the idol was erected the statue was erected 400 years later. It also separates the city center of Hyderabad from its neighborhood Secunderabad. Hussain Sagar was built across a tributary of Musi River. Please remember the name of the river, Musi River, by Abraham Kuli Qutb Shah. The lake was named after Hussain Shah Wali, who was the master of architecture in the kingdom. It's an artificial lake that holds water perennially fed by canals from Musi River. So please remember this Musi River. Alright, Hussain Sagar was the main source of water supply to Hyderabad before Himayat Sagar and Usman Sagar were built on river, the same river, River Musi. And Buddha statue was chiseled out of a white granite rock weighing 450 tons. It was carved by 200 sculptors for 2 years. Statue was transported to Hyderabad in November 1988. After initial problems, the statue was erected on 12 April 1992 on Red Lotus pedestal. Alright, so this is the heart shape which is being talked about. Just like this. Alright. Okay. So all the lakes are clear now, I hope. And there are 5 more questions added to our inventory, which we can answer about the lakes. So please remember and read about all the important lakes in India. Okay, let's move forward. UN Chief Antonio Guterres activates Article 99. So let's see what is this Article 99. So the UN Secretary General invoked Article 99 of the UN Charter to formally warn the UN Security Council about the global threat from Israel's military operations in Gaza. So we have in detail read about the Israel and the Gaza issue. What is it? Alright, so no need to see more maps, no need to read further about this, just we'll discuss the Article 99, what it does. So he urged an immediate humanitarian ceasefire since October 18, but the Security Council hasn't adopted a resolution due to differences among its permanent members. So there are of course some countries among the permanent members which are supporting the Israel's actions, especially the European countries. And there are some countries which are not supporting this action, but unless there is a complete agreement between all the permanent members, there, because of the veto, of course, so there will not be any resolution passed. And until there is a resolution passed, they cannot implement this ceasefire, but they can put up some economic sanctions. Alright, so let's see what is this Article 99. It's a distinctive provision within the UN Charter, granting the Secretary General a special and independent political tool. So what is this political tool? Let's see. So the purpose is to issue warnings about new threats to international peace and security, focusing on matters not yet on the Council's agenda. So this basically means to say that the Security Council's agenda does not list Israel-Gaza as an issue, and the Secretary General has brought this issue in the list, let's say, via this Article 99. So by invoking Article 99, Guterres gains the right to speak at the Security Council without a need for an invitation from a member state. Alright, so he's saying that I don't need an invitation, I must speak now because this is happening in the world and I am speaking it with the power through Article 99. So Guterres warned of a potential breakdown in public order, etc. So can Article 99 bring an end to the war? So the simple answer in short is no. Alright, it can put some compulsion on the security members to have a discussion or have an opinion or a vote, but it cannot just bring the war to an end. So it gives the authority to bring attention to threats, but does not confer the power to force the Security Council to adopt specific resolutions. Alright, so Security Council is UN's most powerful body. It has a responsibility to maintain international peace and security, but when we talk about the international things, there is a desire from the international members that something should happen or not, regardless whether it brings peace or not. If the Council chooses to act on Guterres' advice and adopts a ceasefire resolution, it gains additional powers to ensure implementation. These powers include the authority to impose sanctions. This is the most powerful thing in the world right now, economic sanctions, such as being levied on, let's say, Russia or being levied on the Venezuela, etc. So they effectively make a country completely separated from rest of the world. Eventually, they will lead to polarization of the world. The polarization means that making of 2-3 groups, such as right now Russia, China, North Korea, Iran, they have made one group, and there is USA and Europe that has made another group, and India is, let's say, dealing with both at the same time. So we'll see this also. So Article 99 does not provide Guterres with the means to compel the Security Council to adopt a resolution. The veto power held by the 5 permanent members, which are China, Russia, the USA, and UK and France, poses a significant challenge. So USA, UK and France, they are supporting Israel. China and Russia, they are not supporting Israel. The ability to adopt a substantive resolution relies on unanimous approval of the abstention of the permanent members. So this is not going to happen basically. Israel's chief backer is USA, has previously vetoed a resolution, while Russia, which has been more critical of Israel, has blocked another. Alright. So this is the, let's say, ineffectiveness when you have members all having powers, equal powers, and who are against each other. Alright, so no decision will be made ever about anything. So it, regardless of what is the potential of the organization, it will confer it effectively powerless. Okay, so Article 99 has been invoked only 4 occasions in the past. In Congo, during the Secretary General invoked Article 99, leading to Security Council adopting Resolution 143 calling for Belgium to withdraw its troops. East Pakistan, there was a war in 1971, as we all know. So cited Article 99 to seek the Security Council's intervention during the conflict in East Pakistan. The outcome and extent of invocations remain unclear. Alright, let's talk about Iran in 1979. Secretary General used Article 99 during the Iran hostage crisis, but the hostages were held for 444 days until released after the Algiers Accord were signed in 1981. So it does not do anything, honestly. In the Lebanon, invoked Article 99 to call for a ceasefire in Lebanon, escalating civil war. So this we have already dealt with. However, the conflict continued despite the Security Council's call for a ceasefire. So when we are reading about the Israel and the rise of Hamas, especially, So we talked about the Lebanon crisis and the Lebanon civil war. That what happened when the Hamas was taken to the Lebanon, refugee crisis happened there. All right. So Lebanon also went through a war, similar nature. Basically, what happens with Article 99 is that the Secretary General or Secretary General, sorry, gets a power to speak, but he cannot compel the Security Council to invoke any resolution, which will most likely not happen because another Ukraine-Russia war is going on, and all the countries are against each other, and they will use their veto powers. So this is also one aspect or perspective when we are writing answers about the UNSC, that India is member to UNSC. So India will function mostly as a arbitrator between these situations. Alright, so this was about today's lecture. We'll be talking more and dealing with more things in another lecture. This is Yatharth here. Thanks for being with me. I hope you liked the lecture. Be here next time. Thank you.